Yeah? You ready?
I think so.
3, 2, 1.
That's your mark.
That is amazing.
Oh. Oh, that's... Wow.
There we go.
I can't go for this, you know.
When most people think about what an engineer is doing, they think hard hats, they think tool belts, they think somebody who's working with their hands. I'm an engineer really trying to understand the mechanical function of the beating heart. Biomedical engineering really is a merger between mathematics and physics and medicine and biology, bringing this technical knowledge and know-how in engineering together with the traditional biology and medicine, and this is what's advancing us forward. The beating heart is governed by some set of equations, and we can then solve those equations computationally, and what we do to build a model is we basically get images from a patient and we make an anatomical representation, and then we solve those equations on that geometry to recreate the beating heart. From this, we can do predictions. So we can say, well, what would happen if we did this kind of intervention or this sort of therapy? How would it change or alter the functioning heart? Engineering is classically about problem solving, which is very fundamental and important, but art is really about connecting and having some sort of emotive response. And merging these two things together is really the way in which you can get people to care.
Today, biomedical engineers are meeting up with the artists, designers, and roboticists of Rusty Squid to explore unique techniques for engaging people on the street.
Hi. Hey, right. Welcome. Hey. I'm David. I'm the creative director of Rusty Squid. And Rusty Squid is a robotic engineering and design studio that works within the contemporary arts. We've been experimenting with using robotic technology to create experiences, events, environments, objects that can engage people emotionally. We like to say motion triggers emotion. It's a really important tool for science communication or engineering communication.
I'm lead artist and producer at Rusty Squid, but my background is within the fine art context, but I have a strong interest in bringing artists and science together. So I'm leading the Heart in Hand project with our team.
Triggering and engaging people emotionally has to come from our physicality and our movement ourselves. So we're going to spend about the next hour doing some physical exercises. It is almost an impossible task. Fundamentally, we want to engage the public emotionally. That's one of the most powerful ways of opening a door for them to get interested in stuff that they can otherwise find overwhelming or quite abstract. At Rusty Squid, we think about physically sculpting the space. In a way, it's the space in between us that is the most interesting thing. What's the tension? What's the chemistry? It's kinesthetic empathy. It's physical empathy. You're trying to experience what you imagine the other person is at.
Engaging with the public is a real challenge. And what we need are creative ways in which we can actually convey what we're doing and how we're developing technology so that people can appreciate it and understand not only the impact but the work that goes into this.
When you were talking before about how the right ventricle really squishes up.
The goal is to find a way to make physical and make tangible their research so that we can have a meaningful and emotional moment understanding the heart that would then be a doorway for people to understand the value of the research.
Our designer Helen has been working with various scales of abstraction. So these hearts are lifelike enough to be engaging, but abstract enough not to repulse people.
heart, like how far away from a heart shape can we go and still achieve the same empathy? And we started thinking about the ergonomics and how it fits in your hand. We wanted people to draw it in and have that encounter with it.
There's nothing you can buy off the shelf that moves like a muscle, so our engineers had to go back to first principles and actually designed and fabricated our very own artificial heart muscles. Natasha and Helen are meeting with cardiac patients to test out our early heart prototypes.
There's this fantastic research happening, which these mathematical models are being made, but it's getting so far away that the public just can't engage with it. People have voiced an absolute diversity of tastes and preferences on colour, shape, texture.
It's precious, isn't it? You don't want to drop it, you don't want to, and the way you touch it and feel it is totally different. I was holding automatically.
You feel.
So what you're talking about is how doing something that has colour and sensation and texture completely changes your relationship to it.
Collaborating with the artists and designers at the Rusty Squid team has been actually quite a lot of fun for me. It's something that I don't get to do enough of in my day-to-day.
And so it becomes the surface, and like you say, then you could...
Because if we have to hold it. With people who are so dedicated in merging between science and the arts, it's a perfect fusion to make something like this really a success.
But do you feel like, are you interested to look inside it?
We were testing a lot of different surface textures, and initially the feedback we were getting was it'd be really nice if it's really crafted, looking at colour, ergonomics, weight, the surface texture, the overall form versus surface detail.
Then you've got these atriums over the top of them.
That feels wetter, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
But probably if you handed that to people, a lot of people wouldn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow! I think it's a cool.
Oh my gosh!
Truncated bit rather than.
This project has been an unusual opportunity to research, design and test something completely from scratch.
An extra 0.2% to this one.
Okay.
Everything that's gone into the fabrication of these soft robotic hearts, the silicon, the actuators, the software, are all completely bespoke. This design and development process has been led by the story that we want to tell the public.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Working with Rusty Squid was just a completely different way of thinking about engagement and interaction, very different from what we're used to, where we're basically going to scientific meetings and talking with colleagues. This is really getting us to crack open, get our ideas out in a way that is more kind of intelligible to the public.
So we simply can't bombard people with high-end maths and physics. You have to literally build something that is physical and tactile, that we can put in people's hands so that they can relate to it emotionally and intimately.
This is sort of a bit scary for me, but...
I have a list.
And once people have that personal experience, when something is meaningful to them, then we can start the conversation to talk about the engineering.
Would you be able to see like some sort of protrusion?
No,
or
not usually. So normally you would beat a little bit more, a little bit deeper. So it's more lying like this. So this is your right ventricle, just pointing towards the front. Because of course the heart is an organ, and we need to look at it as doctors, but we also need to look at it from an engineering side.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, 2 areas you wouldn't think of as going together really work together.
This is getting us out of our comfort zone, giving us an opportunity to really see how we can engage with people and talk about the engineering work that we're doing. We work with the big MRI scanners. So you know, like those big bores, huge electromagnets.
We need to like go to uni, man. We need to
What did I say? I was like, we could get degrees.
Go on, give it a go. Give it a go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engineering is fundamentally important, but it's a very difficult and challenging topic to breach with people. Art gets you to care, and merging these two worlds together, I think, is how we can get people excited and enthusiastic.
It's just amazing.
Oh, I could take it home with me. It's one of them.